912 Sports, Southeast Georgia's #1 source for high school sports. Welcome to On the Air with 912 Sports, a weekly look at high school sports in Southeast Georgia, featuring coaches, players, and journalists who know the ins and outs of prep athletics. Presented by the award-winning writers and broadcasters of 912 Sports. And sponsored by Coastal Pines Technical College, Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, Kim Smoke, licensed realtor with Crossway Realty, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, Prime South Bank, and Gibson Animal Clinic. Now, this week's headlines.
Glynn Academy's baseball coach is calling it a career. The Terror's Trent Mongero has announced his retirement. We'll have a report from Kevin Price in Brunswick. In Blackshear, the Pierce County Bears have some new jewelry. We'll get a report from football coach Brian Herring. 912 Sports has announced Saturday, July 31st as the date of the annual Southeast Georgia High School Football Media Day. More details to come. Next, we go on the road to Hazelhurst, where the Jeff Davis County Yellow Jackets have claimed another AA state baseball championship. We'll have a report from Sean Smoke coming up.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
If you take US 1 North out of Alma, Georgia, you'll come to a fork in the road where Highway 23 goes off to the left. If you follow Highway 23 for the next 20 miles, you'll cross over 4 county lines, including Jeff Davis County twice. Eventually, around the 20-mile mark, you'll see this sign for Hazelhurst, Georgia, home of Jeff Davis High School. Here, the Yellow Jackets head baseball coach Paul Glass has built a baseball powerhouse, winning 3 out of the last 4 state AA championships, winning the AA state baseball championship in 2017, 2019, and this year, 2021. I'm Sean Smoke, publisher of 912 Sports, and I had the opportunity to talk to Coach Glass about the Yellow Jackets' success, and here's what he had to share with On Air with 912 Sports.
And Coach, you guys came into the 2021 season as a 2-time state champion over the last couple of years, and but really not a lot of people had their eyes on Jeff Davis as being a 3rd-time state champion. You guys were replacing a lot of kids. Y'all were the favorites back in 2020, but then of course COVID hit. We didn't get to a chance to play baseball, but you guys found a way, Coach, to get back to that state championship game and to put another state championship trophy in the case. Talk a little bit about what the winning formula was here at Jeff Davis this past year.
Well, this year coming in off of last year, didn't have a very normal summer because of the COVID and the restrictions and all that. So we had to try to navigate through that. So once we kind of figured out kind of how we were going to go in the off season and got a little bit of work in, when we started in January, we really didn't know what the formula was going to be. We didn't know. We had so many new guys, and the new guys that were playing were mostly seniors because they were behind that group we had last year, and we didn't really know what the formula was going to be. We just knew they didn't have a lot of experience. The only way to get experience is to play, so we jumped right in, and we tried not to just stick our toe in the water. We just dove right in, and early in the year, struggled in some spots offensively. Couldn't find the lineup. Got our nose bloodied a little bit. Wayne County got us. We got beat by Rome. We got beat by North Oconee. Bleckley got us, and we're just kind of trying to figure things out. And looking back on it, that bloody nose that we got from Wayne County and North Oconee and some of those teams, maybe that helped us late in the year, So that you gotta be mentally tough in the playoffs because stuff is just so hard. And I will say this about this team this year, and it's not a knock on them, but nothing came easy for these guys. They really had to work at everything they did, and that's a testament to them. And they were willing to put in that extra work in order to get to where they needed to be. So I'm very happy for them that they were able to do that, because when you see guys work as hard as these guys did, you want to see them be rewarded, and to see them be rewarded for everything they did is very. I was very pleased to see that.
Well, Coach, this year's team, for the 21 team, you had to replace 8 starters from the 20 team that everybody, like I said, had circled as being a championship team. You're kind of faced with the same thing coming up here in 2022. But talk a little bit about the future of the Jeff Davis Yellow Jackets.
Well, we lost off of the 2020 team. We lost 8 starters, and let me say this too before we move on: is in Savannah, all of those guys, all of those 8 starters, the ones that could be there, were all sitting in the stands.
Wow.
So they were really involved. They could have been bitter because of what happened with their senior year, but they wasn't. The guys that were not there, Leggett couldn't be there because he's still playing at JU, and Jay Sean couldn't be there because he's at Reinhardt playing.
Right.
So they were not able to be there, and I just know that they would have been if they could have been.
Right.
But Caleb's parents were there.
Right.
And that's a testament to that group, and they were still pulling for Jeff Davis when they have every chance to be bitter because their season ended. But going into, this coming year, we're going to lose 7 seniors off of this team, off the 21 team, anytime you lose seniors, it's all quality seniors. It's going to hurt you. I mean, and over our time here, the seniors that we've lost, it's hard to fill their shoes, no matter if they were your starting pitcher, your shortstop, or they were a role player, they were a courtesy runner, they were a spot player on defense, because those guys buy into what their role is, and when they buy into that role, it makes the whole program better. And going forward, losing those 7 seniors, we're going to lose pretty much our whole infield except for shortstop. We're going to lose our top 2 pitchers. We're going to lose outfielder, hitter, DH. Going forward, I know who we got coming back, but once again, we're going to go into next year. Whoever falls into those spots is going to be probably a younger guy, because we're only going to have 4 seniors next year. So there's a good chance they will be underclassmen, which will be a little bit different. But you have growing pains when you have the underclassmen. But we're going to kind of still be in the same boat, the lack of experience, and the only way to get experience is to be in the fight. And we'll play a little bit this summer, but summer's not the same as the spring.
Right.
And but hopefully the guys will battle it out. When we had our first meeting with our guys going into the summer, once we turned the seniors loose, I looked at Trenton and I said, all right, everybody in this room, this is the first time, this is the new team for next year. I looked at Trenton, I said, what's this team's record? And he looked at me and he said 0-0. I said, you're right, this team hadn't won a game, hadn't played a game.
Right.
So let's go try to make a case for yourself as a not only as a player getting on the field, but as a team, and what kind of story is going to be written about this team moving forward. And who knows, time will tell. But as long as they'll put the work in, we don't know how it'll end up. But if they'll put the work in, that'll give them the best chance to be competitive. And who knows? I don't know. We'll see once we get out of the summer. If we talk again at the end of the summer, I can maybe give you a better idea. But right now it's just a big question mark as to who's going to be where, and what kind of experience can we bring back? Can we develop some depth on the mound? We're losing our top 2 pitchers. Cole and Matthew White both pitched on the 19 team in that championship series and in this championship series, so we're losing that experience. We're returning a couple of young arms and another senior arm, but once again, it's a new year, and you can't just rock back and say, okay, let's look at what we did last year, because as soon as you start looking backwards, man, you start going backwards. So we got to look ahead. We need to feel confident about what we've done, and be proud of what we did, but let's don't be content and just settle for that. Let's keep pushing forward and try to push the bar up a little bit more.
Well, Coach, you found that light switch in that dark room this year. Maybe you can do it again next year. Like I said, the last 3 out of the last 4 state championships in AA that have been played have came home to Jeff Davis as a state championship. So congratulations to that. Coach, we tried to do this recording yesterday. Some of your players were here.
Right.
The recording didn't work out. I want to apologize to those guys. Hamp Hayes, Matthew White, Kason Clance, Cade Walters, Matthew Glass, Duke Stone, Alex Mason, and Trenton Clance. Appreciate you guys' time. Sorry about the recording not working, but we'll try to do something with you guys maybe down the road a little bit. But again, Coach, appreciate your time. Thanks for being on air with 912 Sports.
All right, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, buddy.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robinson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Call on us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, across from Harvey's in Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
Hello everybody, Kevin Price here with 912 Sports. Just last week, Glynn Academy head baseball coach Trent Mangiero surprised a lot of us here in Southeast Georgia when he announced his decision to retire from teaching and coaching here at Glynn Academy. Coach Mangiero cited several reasons for his decision to retire. First and foremost was a health concern dealing with a heart issue that he has dealt with for more than a year now. Also, he cited his wishes to spend more time with his family going forward. But of course, we cover Glynn Academy here on 912 Sports, and we also follow Red Terror Baseball here as part of our Golden Isles baseball package on 912 Sports. We broadcast Glynn Academy games this spring, followed the Red Terrors all the way through the Class 6A state baseball tournament, following them all the way to the Elite Eight this spring. So for that reason, we wanted to talk to Coach Mangiero just a little bit more about his decision to step down here with the Red Terrors. All right, Coach, thanks for being with us. You mentioned having this retirement on your mind all season, but really kind of in the background, not making this decision until after the season. So really, when did you make this decision? I know there were several factors going into it, which we'll talk about, but really, when did you actually make this decision?
Literally not up till 4 or 5 days before I announced it. I just wasn't sure. I was prayerfully considering. I spoke to the few mentors that I have that are former coaches, and it just seemed like in my heart that it's what I needed to do. So I pulled the trigger as quickly as possible, because I really didn't want the program to get stuck. I know the hiring process in the summertime can be difficult, but it is a good time for transitions to take place, families to move and such. So if I would have waited too long, it could have really hamstrung the hiring process. And I didn't want in any way, shape or form to be a hindrance in the next hire, because as I've said, I feel like we got things going, and whoever they hire, whether it's within and there's good options there, or if they choose to go without, they need to have that person in place as soon as possible.
And Coach, I know you mentioned in your letter to the Glynn County Schools and Glynn Academy administration several reasons for your retirement, for your decision.
Yeah, well, my heart issue is not what might be a typical heart issue, for lack of a better phrase. Mine is not blockage. So mine is a valve issue. My mitral valve, I have significant regurgitation in the mitral valve, which means your heart's supposed to pump in one direction. The blood flows in your body in one direction. My heart pumps from that valve into the next chamber, and a significant amount of blood comes back into that chamber. So it's a valve issue, and I was 2 days from open heart surgery last spring, right before COVID, when they changed their mind to do one more test, and after that test is when they said, let's push it a little bit. And of course, technology is ever changing. So I'm hoping that, they get better and better. In fact, they can almost go through your ribs most of the time now to get into your heart and not have to cut you down the middle. Like my dad, this is genetic, by the way, Kevin. My dad had the same surgery, open heart, split down the middle. He had it for both reasons, for blockage and for valve, but I inherited his valve.
I know you're a family man. I know you love baseball, but health and family together certainly trump your love for baseball as much as you love baseball.
Well, the way I see it is, I've given my life, for lack of a better phrase, to helping other families and helping other children. And now it's time to make sure that my home team is taken care of. My daughter in particular, it starts to choke me up. I apologize. She's really taken a back seat, and my son's been an athlete his whole life, so we've had that connection. We've been on the field. Of course, I coached him in high school on the baseball field, but my daughter is very independent, very smart. She's a go-getter, and she was supposed to study in Oxford last summer when COVID shut that all down, and she's been to South Korea twice on her own, where she won scholarships and was selected. Now she's going back this summer to South Korea. She leaves on the 9th. And then next year, she wants to, once she graduates from the University of Georgia, she wants to move to Japan to teach English in Japan. That's a passion that she's had. So she's been to Japan as well in the past. So she travels, and that's what she wants to do. And so my window is really small right now to try to invest into her life. You can't make up for lost time, and I've certainly not neglected her in the real sense of the word, but I feel like I got to take this opportunity to step outside of what I'm comfortable with, to spend more time with my daughter, especially when she gets back at the end of the summer when we would be going back to school.
You're not really totally stepping away from the game. You're still going to do clinics and camps, and matter of fact, you're doing one this week. So I guess you're still going to be around the game. So I guess that makes it a little easier. Just not going to take any more wins and losses, I guess.
Well, the thing about the developmental side of the game, which is my greatest passion at this point in my life, is I can dictate when I do that and how much I do that. When you're coaching at the high school level, when you're trying to build a program that can win state championships and build men, it takes all the time that you have. So, trying to balance the two of those on top of my health issues and family issues is like impossible. But it does give me a little bit of an opportunity to continue on with another part of passion in the game and try to influence lives in a different way. And that's what I'm going to do, So that's definitely something that I manage, and I can say no. When you're coaching in high school, you don't get to say no. So as far as the past, Laney was my first high school. Most people know that from where Michael Jordan went to high school, because it is where he went to high school. And, we built that program from the cellar team in the county to a state reputable. Everybody knew Laney, and they were going to face the real deal. And then I went to Richmond County. I took a little different approach there. Went to the third biggest school in the state. Laney was the 8th biggest. Richmond was 3rd at the time, but they had won state titles in the past. So I was there 3 years, and I was planning on staying there, and North Hall came calling, and I never heard of Gainesville, Georgia before. I said, Gainesville, Florida? They said, no, Gainesville, Georgia. So we went on a visit, ended up there, and same thing. That program was never been past the second round of the state playoffs in their history. It's an old school. I want to say now, since I've been there and everything, it's approaching 80 years old. Not as old as Glynn Academy, but that was the first state title that we won there. We played for it in 13, won it in 17. They just won it in 21. They had never been past the second round when I got there. So we built that program, and most people that know baseball in the state know North Hall now. So not because of me, but because of the community, the support, my assistants. It was a team effort. But Glynn Academy was a big challenge for me. Never intended to leave North Hall after winning a state title, but the Lord had other plans. So here I am, and I was planning on being here way more than 4 years. So, that just goes to show you really don't know. But I sunk my life in. I was able to put together a big staff, not a big staff, but it's fairly big, but quality staff is what I'm really getting at. And, I was able to be a quote unquote head coach, more like a college head coach here, in the sense that I stayed in the dugout this year. I had a former college coach that coached third base for me, and I trusted him, and he got to learn and grow up. He's a young guy. Same thing, first base. So Sandlin was at third, Welburn was at first. I had Teddy Wallin, who's coached in college, and a guy that's grown up in this area, went to Brunswick. So I had a tremendous staff, and I let those guys do their jobs, and I truly managed. And then that, with my health issue and everything going on, it was like a beautiful, mix.
Hey, Coach, I don't know if you know or if you even want to answer this, but are you going to have any influence on that decision, or do you plan to stay out of it?
I told him that's up to the administration here at Glynn Academy and Glynn County Schools. If they want my input, I'll give them as much as they would, as they want. If they don't, I'm staying out of it. I'm not looking to influence in any way, shape, or form. So I'm here if they want me. Same thing with the new coach. If they hire from within, there's a lot of administrative things that go on that I don't include my staff on, because they don't need to be burdened with that kind of stuff. Where now a new head coach might, hey, how do you do baseball at the beach? How do you do this? The fundraising, the booster clubs, all the bus scheduling, and everything. So I'll be there for that person as well, or if they don't want my help, I'll just stay away. But we are going to be here. We love the Golden Isles, and I know you didn't ask this, but I want to say it. The support has been tremendous. Thank you, Kevin, 912 Sports. It's like the places I've been, it takes 3 or 4 years to form relationships, and same thing with ours, even mine and yours. I mean, the more you're around people and you really get to see them work, the more you respect them. And I respect what you guys do. You do a great job, and the community is very fortunate to have what you guys do. And so anybody out there, I would highly encourage you to support them financially through advertising and other means, so that they can truly get these young men exposure, and how beautiful is it to be able to be anywhere, if you can't be at the ballpark or the football field or the soccer field or the basketball arena, and still be able to take in the game and hear your son, grandson, nephew, friend perform, and be able to follow your team, whether you like Brunswick or Glynn Academy. You guys do a great job. Thank you.
Okay, so there you have it. The full interview with Coach Mangiero can be seen on our website and also social media pages. Coach Mangiero retires with 490 career wins. Obviously, if that 2020 season does not get shut down by COVID, he easily makes it to the 500 win mark. The coach tells us he's willing to live with that fact. So now Glynn Academy in the market for a new head baseball coach. We understand the job is now posted on the Glynn County Schools site. Interviews are expected to begin soon, and a new head coach expected to be named sometime this month. When that happens, we'll have that announcement and the name right here on 912 Sports. For 912 Sports, I'm Kevin Price reporting from Adam Wainwright Field here in Brunswick, Georgia, also known as the house that Wainwright built.
Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal. Now we head to Ware County, Waycross, Georgia, where the Ware County High School Lady Gators softball team hosted a camp for kids ages 6 through 13 this week. There were a lot of fundamentals taught, but a lot of fun going on as well. There were a total of 61 future Lady Gators in attendance for the camp. They had some fantastic help from all the Ware County High School coaching staff and players, including head coach Rebecca Kirkland, as well as former Lady Gators who play collegiate softball or are committed to play. It was a great 2 days to be part of the Gator Nation in Waycross.
Of 2020, the Pierce County Bears won the AAA State Football Championship. And since that date, the most anticipated event here in Bearville has been the State Championship ring ceremony. And here to tell us all about it is the head coach of the Pierce County Bears, Coach Ryan Herron. Coach, appreciate you joining us on Air with 912 Sports today.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, buddy. And it has been a huge event, Coach. You guys have been, talking about this thing ever since that day back on December the 30th when you guys won the championship. Everybody's like, when's the rings coming? When's the rings coming? When's the rings coming? And you guys had a ceremony last week. Tell us a little bit about that event here in Bearville.
Well, Jimmy Lyden, our Touchdown Club president, had been working on a venue, and, we'd been talking about where we want to do it. We want to do it in the auditorium, in the gym, downtown, wherever. And Mossy Pond, we just thought would be the best place because parking wouldn't be a problem. It's a nice location, nice place, and has plenty of parking. And so we ended up choosing Mossy Pond out in, I guess really that's what you'd call Odom or Offerman. Out in Offerman. So we had it out at Mossy Pond in Offerman.
Right. Now, this is a big event, Coach. You guys had all your players there. You had all your coaches there, that sort of thing. But let's go back to the beginning when the ring, I guess the idea, of course, everybody gets championship rings these days. But who all was involved in designing the ring? Who all was involved in making the decision to, what kind of rings you guys were going to have?
Well, Ty Miles and Austin Jernigan gave me a lot of help in the design process of it. But, I just looked at every design I could think of, got a lot of stuff in the mail, looked on the internet, and just slowly put it together, the design of it, and had help from John Green and John Green Jewelers. And so we just slowly shaped it and designed it, how we wanted it. And, we wanted as many stones as we could get in. I told them that was the prerequisite for using you, Mr. Green, is I want as many stones as we can get in there to the hole. And they did a great job of it.
Right. Yes, it's a great looking ring. And Coach, we all know this is an expensive venture. So let's talk about how this came to fruition, how you guys were able to put together enough funds to be able to buy everybody that was a part of this championship, a state championship ring.
Well, the great thing is from the get-go, Jimmy Lyden, our Touchdown Club president, he said, money's not going to be an issue. Money is not going to be an issue. Order the best thing you can find, whatever you want. And so I felt good from the get-go. We didn't have to worry about staying, inside a certain amount, so we're going to order something nice.
Right.
And anytime you win a state championship, you want your ring to be nice. And so we really worked on getting the ring like we wanted. And of course, Jimmy had told me throughout the process, don't worry about the money, the money will get there. And what happened was, I think pretty quickly, people started donating, and we had people donate. We had anonymous donors that gave money, and I think he was able to cover what the price may be real real soon after the championship game.
Right.
He didn't have to go and haggle people.
Strike while the iron's hot, as they say.
He didn't have to go downtown and beg for dollars, So, and that just talks a lot about the sport we have around here, what type of people we have.
Right.
Money wasn't an issue, so that takes a lot off your plate as far as worry when you're designing the ring, because I got to stay under $400 or I got to stay under $500. He told me order the best thing you can find, however you design it, and so the whole process was made simple for me because there were no parameters as far as price, and so we ended up with a great product.
Right. Well, Coach, I guess you guys pretty much gave rings to, of course, all your players and everything. But who all was included on the list of who received the rings?
Well, the cheerleaders got pendants. Of course, principal, athletic director, superintendent. I think, and it was open. If a board member wanted a ring, I think we only had one for sure. I think that got a ring. But everybody that's involved with the program, of course, Touchdown Club president, vice president. So all the players, all the cheerleaders, and
your staff, of course,
all the staff. Everybody got one, and so we didn't have problems as far as who gets one, who doesn't. Hey, if they were a part of the program, especially player, coach, they got a ring, and then some others got rings.
Right. Well, I knew you guys had a special young man that you guys gave a ring to. I saw some of that on Facebook, and I think that was a pretty cool tribute.
Yeah. That's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen some cool things. But if that doesn't warm your heart, you may not have a heart.
Exactly.
And so that was awesome. Coach Jernigan headed that up, and that was a heck of a deal.
Yeah, it was really cool. You can check that out on Facebook. Well, Coach, you guys had a great 2020. You went to the pinnacle. You went to the mountaintop. You won that state championship. And it's great to to have the ring ceremony. It's great to have it. But we got a football season coming up just a few months down the road. Talk a little bit about what Pierce County's been doing to prepare for the 2021 season.
Well, we took some time off after the championship game, and then we went right back to work in the weight room, and these guys have done an unbelievable job. We work 5 days a week in here, and it's hard work, and a lot of times it isn't fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that, and they know that, but they've kind of embraced hard work. We've got the best kids, that I've ever been around. As far as, hey, we're gonna clock in every day. We're gonna work. If I don't feel good, I'm still gonna work. If I'm sore, I'm still gonna work. If it's Friday, I'm still gonna work. We went to some weight meets, did a great job. And then after that, we just kept working. And then spring training got here about 3 weeks ago, and that was brutal. I don't know how a lot of people do it, but there's a lot of people running into people at our spring training, so it was brutal.
Right.
And so they went through 10 days of that. And a lot of times, with spring training, you don't find out who's real good or just who's maybe not real good. You just see kids go at it, and see who'll run into each other.
Right.
Because it's still going to be blocking and tackling in the end, and so it's just fun for us. It's just fundamentals.
Right.
We put in one running play. We put in a few passing plays.
Right.
We put in a base defense and a couple of coverages. We didn't want to load their plate down with a lot of thinking. We just want to go out there and just kind of see who's matured, and some new people who came out, and we get to look at the upcoming ninth graders, and just a lot of it's just observation and film, and just getting to see kids and where they are and where they need to go. And we had a couple of kids who were out with injuries, so he gave a lot of other kids more reps probably that wouldn't have got those reps. So, but it was tough. It was a grind, but it was a good thing for us.
Exactly. Well, Coach, we got the Dead Week coming up, which is a new Dead Week that GHSA has implemented. But after that, summer practice will start. What's first on the slate for the Bears when they come back?
Well, we'll start June 7th, and we'll go 5 days a week for 3 weeks in June. Then we'll have another GHSA Dead Week.
Right.
And we'll go 5 days a week, 3 weeks in July, and then basically it's start time.
It's season time.
But it'll be work too.
Right.
We'll go from basically 9 to sometimes 12 o'clock, And, you know, we'll work our core strength, we'll work feet and speed, then we'll work weights, and then we'll work football, and that's kind of how it works out every day. And, you know, so it's work. You know, we don't make any bones about it. You know, it isn't for everybody, you know, because everybody's not made the same.
Exactly.
It's tough, but for us to have a chance to be as good as we can be, you know, we're going to have to try to outwork people. You know, we're going, and that builds character. It does a lot of stuff, but it's what we got to do to have a chance to beat people. We've got an unbelievable schedule this year. We've actually added another game, so we have our non-region schedule is going to be brutal. So we've got to be in that frame of mind of we got to be tough, we got to be in shape. We got kids that play both sides of the ball. So, you know, the things that we can control, we've got to do a good job of trying to control them throughout the summer to give us a chance to win in the fall.
Exactly. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time here. Congratulations on the championship. Congratulations on the ring ceremony. But we'll catch up with you later on down the road.
This has been On the Air with 912 Sports. We'll be back next week with more coverage of Southeast Georgia high school sports. On the Air with 912 Sports has been brought to you by Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, Prime South Bank, Gibson Animal Clinic, Coastal Pines Technical College, Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, and Kim Smoke, licensed realtor with Crossway Realty. This has been a presentation of 912 Sports, Southeast Georgia's #1 source for high school sports.